make the leap of faith to search for God, which is a very personal journey that every one of us have to, in one way or another, have to go through in our lives. This is why the Imam of Usuluddin, the ulama of theology, the scholars of our science of knowing how to know God, for example, tells us that taqleed, to follow someone blindly, is acceptable in fiqh, it is acceptable in law, it is acceptable in knowing how to pray, how to make wudu, how to fast, but it is not acceptable in iman. It is not acceptable in matters of faith, because you have to search God yourself. It has to be a personal experience. In the case of Imam al Ghazali, he struggled with his faith for a couple of months. So the reason why I wanted to relate to you this story, and this is the important thing about this man, and he is still relevant today because of that. This man who lived 1,000 years ago is still relevant today. Precisely why? Because every one of us, I'm sure, are struggling with our own faith. Wanting to know how we can relate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, in this dunya. That is the nature of life. This is the nature of how Allah has laid out the life for you. And therefore do not lose heart. Do not despair the rahmah of Allah. Don't despair the mercy of Allah. If a great scholar macam Imam al Ghazali boleh had problems with his faith, apatah lagi kita? What about ourselves? And this is the beauty of our religion, that we know that at the end of the day, you must learn to have tawakkul. You must learn to have tawakkul. You must learn to have to rely on God at the end of the day, to seek that faith, whether it is through rational means like Imam al Ghazali, which he eventually found, or whether through personal experience, or whether through, well, I don't want to use this word really, but through scolding. That is not the right way to achieve faith. But I will share with you, for example, an anecdote from my own life, from my own experience recently. An example of what we are talking about here, that you will probably one day experience that as well. And I hope you must have experienced that by now, inshallah. To be someone of a person of conviction, someone of a person of principle, someone who has faith, true iman, a mu'min, not just a Muslim. Because all mu'mins are Muslims, but not all Muslims are mu'min. Because some Muslims can be munafiq. Just the name is Muhammad, but really does not have faith inside his heart. But a mu'min, the one who really believes, obviously is a Muslim already. And we should all hope to die in the state of iman. That is the story of Piramli. And the Alibaba, isn't it? Oh, aku mati dalam iman. Which is the dua, mashallah. Allah bless the soul of Allah yarham Piramli. May we recite Fatiha for him, inshallah, ala hadihi niyah, ila ruh al-marhum Piramli wa usulihi wa furuhi wa man yantasibu ilaihi ajma'in. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين رب اغفر لنا ولوالدينا. A man like Piramli, an actor who through his acting and his comedy could have Muslim lessons in it. It is amazing. It is amazing. A lesson that, yes, we all want to die in iman. To know that you may be going to this lesson today, you never know what is going to happen to you. So be careful, don't judge other people. Just because you think that, oh, you're going to the mosque, you feel great now. I feel so great, I wear songkok. I feel so great, orang lain tu yang tak pergi di kelas agama ke, yang tak pergi masjid, apa, you apa nak jadi. Astaghfirullah. never have, never harbor those thoughts. That is their maqam. Your maqam is different. And you better be worried about your own ship. But when you die like Piramia. Aku mati dah iman. Ada chance dah mati tu boleh bangun balik mati. You know, there is a riwayah in the hadith, in the story of the parents of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Aqidah, we learned this in our Aqidah and Sunni Aqidah, that, you know, what is the position of Abdullah and Amina, because, you know, so the one riwayah says that they will be resurrected, and then we'll see the shahada, so that they will have, you know. So mashallah, you know, Piramli is not that wrong. Idea tu memang bernas tu. There is basis in that idea, mashallah. So this I want to share with you before we break. A religious, what the philosophers call a religious experience. This is one of the most important ways to find your faith. A couple of weeks ago I was invited to Sheffield, to my very first, I am ashamed to say, a purely run Malaysian majlis. This is my second, so it's not my first now. So I'm doing better, slightly better. I'm very shy. I've always had my teaching usually done in mosques. Therefore, because of that, we have you know, Muslims who are Arabs and Pakistanis and some few Malaysians. But this is the first time that I have gone to a sort of a Malaysian program in that case. So a couple of weeks ago I was invited to Sheffield, and, you know, the organizers said that, I want to give a talk. Ajak Ustaz to give a talk. First of all, I'm not an Ustaz, I say, you know, don't call me Ustaz or something, just Afifi is enough. And to give a talk, I said, I'm not, you know, I'm afraid I don't know, I cannot, tak boleh bagi ceramah. Ini bukan Ustaz tak boleh bagi ceramah. I don't know how to bagi ceramah macam ala Ustaz yang ada kat Malaysia. Ceramah is not something that I'm used to doing. So I could either do a khutbah Jum'ah there, or possibly khutbah nikah there as well, but not an advertisement here. and or like what we're doing now, a lesson, but not a talk, you know, talk in 1 hour or something. Oh, please give the title as well. I don't know. I'm not used to that tradition. Nevertheless, so I went to the majlis, and alhamdulillah were kind enough to bear with me. So we talked about Imam Juwaini, the teacher of Imam al Ghazali, that day. The organizer told us, just after we finished Maghrib and I was about to go home, and this was, mashallah, on the Saturday. Now, this is the story. On the Wednesday, the story begins the Friday of the month before, when I was teaching in Banbury Mosque, class Aqidah Sanusiyah. Mashallah, there was a like our brother Kerry here, Kerry Khairi, isn't it? Is it Kerry? And there were, you know, much like this, about 200 people or so in the masjid and in the class, and a few Malaysians, but then the other people were there. But after my class, I made salam with the people. Macam baca selawat semua, macam burdah. And there is this one English man, you know, like Kerry here with his jambang, you know, came up to me and said salam, and then he gave me a card. And he gave me something, and I was worried. I hope it's not money. I asked him, I hope it's not money, because I see the donation box there. We'll put it in there. Oh no, please, it's a letter. It's fine. And when I went home, I saw that it was a wedding card. This Englishman, he's marrying a honey lady in Birmingham. And on the wedding, like the Malaysian wedding, you had a RSVP. And this was like a month before, something like that. And I was very busy at the university doing various things, teaching and things, and I had my Viva at that same time as well. So I was so busy I had never time to actually do the RSVP.